Okay, so people that have self-esteem do esteemable things. People that feel good about themselves do good things. So, what is it that you're doing that's good? What actions are you taking that are good? I had an idea. A lot of people become successful because they have an idea, but the key is that you take action on it and you stay committed. So I had an idea that I wanted to run across the United States. I got the idea from a guy named Terry Fox who lived in Canada. And I'm not going to go into Terry Fox's story again because a lot of you have already heard his story, and it's an incredible story. Google or go on YouTube Terry Fox Canada and watch Terry Fox. There's an ESPN special about Terry Fox. I highly recommend it. So, I made a decision that I wanted to run across the United States. Now I had to build up to it. First time I told my wife I wanted to run across the United States, she thought I was crazy. She said, why don't you try running across the state of Oklahoma? So I did that. 236 miles, took me 8 days, ran 30 miles a day, and it was an incredible experience. I will never forget it. Have you ever run 236 miles? Probably not. You probably say that that's crazy, and it might be to the average person. But I wanted to celebrate my 55th birthday in a way that I would always remember it. And so I ran across the state of Oklahoma. Then after doing that, I thought about, okay, while I might not be able to run across the United States, I could probably take a bicycle across the United States. So that's exactly what I did. I started in San Diego and I rode a bicycle, and I was going to ride all the way across the United States. It was going to take 30 days. And about the second day of riding the bicycle, I realized that I didn't want to be away from my family that long. So instead of doing it in one 30-day time, I split it. I did 15 days, and then I came back a year later and did the other half of the United States, and it was a great experience. I got to see the country from a whole different point of view. And then I thought, wouldn't that be wonderful to do that on a motorcycle? But not just by myself, but with my family. My daughter at the time was 12, my other daughter was 14, and so I bought 4 matching Yamaha V250s for Christmas. 2 reds, 2 whites. I put a red one out and a white one out on the back porch, and on Christmas Day I said, Merry Christmas to the daughters, and I said, pick whichever one you want. And they both picked, Abby picked white and Emily picked red. So for the next 2 years, from the age 12 to 14, as Abby got legal to be able to drive a motorcycle, we practiced, we trained, we got our license, and then we went to San Diego and we rode pretty much the same trail that we did on the bicycle. And we went all the way across the United States on motorcycles. And we did it in less than 30 days. It was a great experience. Our kids will never forget it. I'll never forget it. We've got pictures, we've got videos. This is a great experience. After we did the motorcycle trip, I decided, what else can I do? And then I thought about, why don't we run across the United States, but let's do it in a relay. And so I got a couple of my friends, and we started running from El Paso, Texas, to Jacksonville, Florida. And we ran about 500 miles the first time, then we ran another 500 miles the second time, and we got it down into 200 miles at each time, 300 miles. It's about 1,500 miles we did on the course that we went. And so we made it all the way to Jacksonville, great experience. And then the next leg was from El Paso to San Diego. And so this video is our run from El Paso to San Diego, except I miscalculated. We only made it to Phoenix, Arizona. So in March of 2020, I'm headed back to Phoenix, Arizona to run from Phoenix to San Diego, and then we will have completed the entire United States, running across the United States as a relay team. A lot of fun. A lot of different people have showed up. We've met a lot of new people. We've had some setbacks, some difficulties to overcome. We've overcome those. People that have self-esteem do esteemable things. Now, riding a bicycle across the United States doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Running across the United States doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Even motorcycling across the United States doesn't have to cost a lot of money. There are different levels you can do this. If you've never done something like this, do it. If you've never done something like an endurance thing, running a marathon, or running a long distance, or one time I took my Sea-Doos from Oklahoma all the way to New Orleans via the rivers and the Mississippi River, and that was an incredible experience. It took me 4 attempts to make it happen. I'm kind of an endurance kind of guy. I like doing things that are difficult over a period of time, where you have to stick with it. One of the things about success is you figure out what you want to do to be successful, and you have it in your mind how easy it's going to be to do this. But then when you start attempting it, you start running into roadblocks, you start running into barriers that keep you start losing hope, you start thinking, is it worth it, and all that. But if you stick with it, if you get through the boredom and you accomplish it, it's something you can no one can ever take away from you. If you want to start your own business, you know, the first 4 years of Pacebutler Corporation, I didn't get a paycheck. You know, the only way I was able to make it was I rented out my room, doing some odd jobs, things like that, borrowing money from friends and family, you know, in order to make it the first 4 years. But I stuck with it, and now 32 years later, we're still in business. This trip that we took from El Paso to Phoenix was a wonderful trip. The motorhome broke down. Now the motorhome could have broken down anywhere along the run. There was times we were 50, 60 miles away from other cities or towns. We were out in the middle of nowhere in the desert of Texas, in Arizona, in New Mexico. There were times that we were just out there. But the motorhome, we came into this small town, I don't remember the name of the town, but we came into the small town, and in this town, as we pulled up the intersection on the northwest corner, there was Tom's Automotive. And Josh said, wow, I didn't know you had an automotive store here. And I said, yeah, and we joked about it. And as we drove across the intersection, one of the spark plugs on the V10 engine that's in the motorhome came out of the block, came out of the engine block, stripped the threads, came out, and all of a sudden the motorhome sounded like it was an extremely loud noise, but I knew what it was because we had had that event happen before on the other side of the engine. So I knew exactly what it was. I knew the spark plug had come out. I knew that what we needed to do. They have a special kit that they can put in and fix it. And there we were right there at Tom's Automotive. An hour and a half later, we were back on the road. Now that could have happened 50 or 60 miles away from civilization, but it happened right there in this small town. An hour and a half later, it was fixed and we were back on the road. What a lucky situation. What a blessed situation for something like that to happen. It was just, and we laughed about it and we kept on going. We stayed in interesting motels, lots of laughter, lots of fellowship, just a lot of fun. So, you know, take action. You know, what separates people that are successful and what people are not successful, in other words, winners and losers, is action. You can have a great idea, but if you don't take action on it and you don't stay committed, nothing happens.
Okay, runner number 2.
If you're interested in joining us for the March run of 2020, please shoot me an email or give me a phone call. My contact information is at the bottom of the screen. And if you've done something like this, put your comments on there. Or if you're considering an endurance situation, put what you're considering in the comments. Let me know what you're doing for an endurance or for a test or for something that you're doing that's kind of unique. I mean, running across the United States is unique. Riding a Sea-Doo over 1,000 miles is unique. What is it that you're doing that's unique? Let us know what you're doing, okay, in the comments below. Please share this. And I just found out something really important is the likes. I didn't know how important the likes are, but when you like a video, Google and YouTube look at it differently, and they allow that to get more exposure on the internet. So please like this if you find this video to be of interest. Hope you have a wonderful life, because winners take action.